Hey, we're live.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Well, here we go. It's the man that promises you nothing and delivers. It's the veritable man motor mouth. It's Robb Woods who feels the need to call himself Robb Vega. It somehow makes him feel important. Anyway, do have a listen and try not to throw up.
Too late. I threw up in my pants. Anyway, so there you go. There's one for you. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. It's winter here, and we all right. I don't know what the for non-Americans.
Give me it in Celsius. I'll convert it.
Okay, it's about 25 degrees.
Oh,
Winter.
so that's it. It's 25. It's 25 Celsius.
Yeah,
That's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's nothing. That's hot.
Yeah, that's my point. I want it to be cold, but
you want it to be like 15. You want it like 15 C or 10 in that ballpark.
Oh, 0. Fine.
Okay, 0 is good.
But there is no snow here. This country does not get snow.
Well, there is. It's at the beach.
Oh, no, not that. No, the cold one. This is the one in the mountains.
Sorry.
That's snow. Yeah. I like when you hit that, but no, this is a different kind of snow. This is the one.
Gotcha.
This is the one you shovel. Hang on. No, sorry, that doesn't work either.
Same thing.
You know what I mean? Same thing. Same thing.
thing.
Exactly. I will say though, on that because literally this is the show that promises you nothing. So I don't know if we're going to. Well, that's what we're going to deliver. The snow thing. I will say I enjoyed my time in the US, and I may or may not return. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? I think it's a good place. This is a good place, bad place, good, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's Earth. That's the thing. It's Earth.
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of borders, as you well know. I do not miss though. I do not miss shoveling snow. That was the low point, because I remember when we first got there, I thought, because no snow. We had to go to mountains and we had to do a big thing to get snow. It was a big deal. Winter wonderland, all that crap you grow up with in a non-snow country, and you go, oh, it must be so nice. They're so lucky to get snow. And then you live in snow and you go, what? Yeah. What is this? After the first day was great. The first day was great. Yeah. We got snow when we first moved there. And we were doing the whole angels thing in the snow, and the people were just saying, "Hey man, what are these crazy South Africans doing here, man? Oh my God!" And they must have thought we were batshit, which we were. Right. We were nuts.
South Africans, so
exactly. Well, I always use that label. I like that label, but I'm really a hybrid. But yes, for the most part, I suppose I am. Yeah. I suppose I am. I've got some English in me, and I've got some.
That's a whole.
Don't even use the Lenny Henry quote with me. Don't even go there. The Lenny Henry quote. Hi, what you got? I'm not even going to go there. It's horrible. Look it up. Not even go there. Different reality show entirely.
There you
go. But
yeah,
it was. I remember. Actually, the snow wasn't the worst part. It was the black ice.
Yes. That was. People don't know what black ice is. So
no, I've never seen it. It just looked wet. The road looked wet. Ooh, it's not that's not wet. That's whoa. Yeah, that.
I used to joke with people when we'd be in New York doing a deal, like in the summer. I'd be like, "Be careful, you're going to slip on black ice." And you get these people that didn't know what black ice was, and they'd ask somebody, and they go, "Oh, it happens in the wintertime." He's telling he's going to throw you in front of a bus, idiot. But yeah, black ice when you're driving in up north, or even I guess in Denver and Colorado, or where it really snows. If you don't pay attention, that'll take you for a spin.
So. I wasn't aware. I mean, we lived in Connecticut, and I wasn't aware that it was that cold. Yeah. I looked at a map and I thought, look, we're fine. It's not Vermont. It's not Montana. It's not North Dakota. No, we're fine. We're good. I mean, how cold can it get? And the first winter we were there, it was, and I'm going to use Celsius again, but you can convert.
Yeah.
It got to -19. We were colder than Anchorage.
So we were colder than Anchorage. It was basically 0.
Like, what is this? It's just down the road from New York. When the hell? And apparently, it does. It gets.
Yeah. Can I tell you something though? I lived in Missoula, Montana for a year, and wonderful. I liked it actually. It was very cool.
Montana looks amazing.
Missoula, Montana. Where the University of Montana is. It got a big M on the mountain, and a pretty girl is called a visitor. But anyway, what I found that what I liked about it is I would get up in the morning to go to the office, and it could be, I'll do this in Fahrenheit for the US people. It would be like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 10 Celsius, negative 10 Celsius, which was interesting because at 20 Fahrenheit, I could literally go in a pair of jeans and a polo shirt and I was okay. The minute it dropped under 20, like all of a sudden when it got to 19, I had to put on a jacket. So I would literally go to my garage, start my big SUV, go back in, get my whatever, come back. And I would just like nonchalantly walk like it was, 25 C or 80 Celsius. Yeah, it was wonderful. Because it's a dry wet. And the snow there is gorgeous. It's just this white powder. Oh, it was beauty. I love living in Montana.
Not too much wind.
No, it's just very nice. I would go back, except there's nothing to do. And to get in and out of Montana, it's like going to Europe. The air travel is like you fly from Missoula to Salt Lake. It might have changed since I lived there. And then from Salt Lake, you go to wherever. So we used to have to go to New York a lot. So it would take me anywhere from 6 to 12 hours to get to New York, depending on flights. And I used to joke, I could go to Europe on this flight. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, two things. One, you walked around in jeans and a polo neck and sub-zero, sub-zero for Celsius temperatures.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's great, because I thought I was the only one that did that. No. And you asked, what else is there? Don't they film? What's that show called? Is it Yellowstone? Doesn't it film? Do they actually film it there? I know it's set there. Is it filmed there? Do they film there?
I think they actually film it some place in Wyoming or New Mexico.
Oh, not in Montana.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks extraordinary. It's the one of the states, that whole Northwest region I've never managed to get to. That will be on my bucket list soon. We should meet up. Big Jack.
I will tell you a story about Montana. Montana has 800,000 people. It may have more now, but this is when it had 800,000 people. And and I used to laugh. That was my apartment building in New York City. It's like good. My whole apartment building was in Montana, right? But there was a hate group that was going to go to Bozeman, and they were going to protest against Jews. Like in Montana, right? I'm thinking, really? And when you find a Jew in Montana, it's like finding a Jew in Texas. You're like, oh my God, there's one of us here. But there's a lot of Jews in Montana, and there's apparently a lot Landsmen here in Austin and in Texas too. I can tell. But anyway, a lot of Chinese restaurants. That's how you know. But anyway, so the people of Bozeman got together. So when the hate group came through, they all had signs in their stores and signs for the hate group that said, we're all Jewish in Bozeman.
Oh, dear.
And so the hate group was sort of like, here's a town that came out and was like, screw you. Like, no, we don't put up with that here. Now, this is 20 plus years ago, like 20 plus years ago.
All right. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's still like that with all the craziness going on. But I was like, that's very cool that they basically banded together as a town and told the hate group, pounce on.
You know, Steve, because it's gonna kick into something else that I was going to talk about. I just get bored with all these people that just hate stuff, and I go, it's because you're stupid. It is. It's because you're ignorant and you haven't researched. And I've always said, and I know this attracted some controversy when I first said it on a radio show I did, and I still believe it. I don't actually think, all right, maybe there are a couple of people that are. I'm not sure that people, it's possible to actually be properly racist.
We talked about this.
Now, let me explain why I say that.
Sure.
Because obviously I live in a country where, apartheid, that was shocking, terrible. Okay. So it's a very sensitive topic. So I had to explain that to people like, why do you say that? Right. Okay. Because in this country, which was held up, South Africa, which was held up as this racist, racially segregated country, for all the world to look at and point at and jeer, meanwhile ignoring their own racism, which was quite funny. But you need the guy who's got the laws to pick on him. You see, look what he's doing. Oh, we don't do that. Yeah, but you got all the other crap. but that's beside the point. So one of the great things that this country has experienced is because it was kind of stuck in the spotlight. And a good thing, by the way, it was a very good thing, because that was a silly system. It was bad. Bad, not good. Don't do that. Never. Don't try that in your country, ever. Okay. Bad idea. Very bad. Not good. Not nice. It was a bit of a problem when some of the people I knew couldn't even come into my house. But that's another. So it was silly. But really what it was rooted in, when you drill down, when you go back into the history and you look at people that have, I guess, had to change their mindset, and you've had this transformation of society, what it was really about is just blaming ignorance. Mm-hmm. I don't know that hate is a very difficult. Hate is quite an interesting thing, because it implies that you know a lot about that person, and despite that, you're just going to hate them for no logical reason. And the thing about apartheid, which was interesting, is that it was in the name. It was, and by the way, it's not apartheid, it's apartheid. Just anybody who doesn't know how to pronounce it, because I hear it all the time. Apartheid, right? So what you found is the way they designed society. God, I wasn't going to talk about this today, but here we go. The way they designed the society is you live there, you live there, you live there. Apartheid, okay? Mm-hmm. Because we don't want to deal with you. We don't know you. We think you're a threat. We don't know that you're a threat. We just think you are. And we imagine all sorts of things about you. So we're just going to put you there, and we're just going to keep our rice bowl, and you have nothing to do with this. And what is interesting is that people would grow up separately, and they would imagine things about each other. And that's what fueled a lot of the hate, the political chats. And it was very easy to divide people, because they were all separated and grew up differently, and they didn't know each other at all. So you could create any narrative you liked about another group. What's been great is, as the country has transformed, and by the way, it hasn't finished transforming, it's still got big problems. But I think that this country, that South Africa, what I am proud of in terms of this country, is that it's in that lake. It's crossing the lake. That lake, let's be honest about what we really know about each other, what we really think. Don't have different conversations with different melanin contents of people. So don't chat with your friends of color one way, with your white friends another way. So because we kind of had to go, what is this apartheid thing? Why does the world hate us? What is it about? And it forced us, not me personally, because I wasn't born here. So I didn't have all the baggage. I just walked into the luggage room. What is this? So my parents didn't have any idea what this was about. It was it was a work thing for them. They came here and they went, wow, this is odd. Yeah. So it was a made up thing. It was a made up thing, because when we are threatened by things, what we do is we like to go into our groups. That's why we stereotype people, that we don't know what they are, so we stick them in a box. Okay, we got you figured out. We got you figured out. So we stick people in boxes, and we go, right, I've got my world figured out. So I know white people that, black people that, Indian people that. Good, I'm all set, because I've got them all categorized. Jewish people, Muslim people, they're all like that. They're all homogenous entities within my framework of categorization. Wow, I must write that down. That's
you should, because you're not going to remember that. Yeah, that's a good thing we're recording.
But it's a survival thing, because when you go into a situation you know nothing about, you need to categorize things. You go into a new neighborhood. Who's the big guy? Who's the small guy? Who's the salesman? It's like how friends work. You got the comedian, the entrepreneur, the whatever, the guy who gets the girls. You've got those guys. We've got these little blocks. That's how human minds work. We stick people into categories. So what this was is it worked. And when I say it worked very well politically, and it still does, by the way, and it's still working very well around the world when you put people in categories. Obviously, we know, because the audience that watches this, and you and I know, we're of a high intellectual capacity, because we're smarter than everyone. And we know that's bullshit. But for people who are ignorant, it's easy to lead them into a path of certain beliefs. If you say white people this, black people that, and they go, yes, that must be true, because Stephen and Roll said that. or my political representative said that. It's absolute garbage. Because
no, it's true. It's on the internet, so it's true.
Yeah, it's on the internet, so it must be true. But what is great about this country is that more than any other country I've ever lived in, it's had to face that demon. Look at yourself. Do you have who are your friends? Where have you grown up with? What do you actually think about people? And it's kind of stuck people together. Sometimes in an artificial way, and sometimes in a what's that lovely word? An organic way. People have just come together because that's how people are. You just get together, and we've started playing sport together. We work together, and we go, oh, so you worry about that stuff too? Yeah, wow. So you worry about your kids. You worry about security. You worry about your job. So like me, yeah, exactly. And just the ordinary that of the interaction of people has kind of, you go, so this was all bullshit, this apartheid thing. It was absolute crap. Yes, of course it was. It's totally crap. But here's the weird thing. But we also not the same. Men are not the same.
It's true.
Groups of white men are not the same. They're not. There are more differences they're between two men sometimes than literally between a man and a woman. That's what you find. That's how people are. Because we all just little, but the key is, this is the key. As different as we are, it's all about what do we have access to? What are we entitled to? What are our rights? And that's the bigger issue. But to say, it's like the pendulum has swung all the other way and said we're all the same. No, we're not the same. And we don't want to be the same. I mean, we had this conversation in that other show where one of the great things about the UK is it's the multiplicity of ethnicity. Oh, there's another one. Write that down.
It's a good thing we're recording this. Look at you. You're a poet.
I know, it's great. It's great, right? And that's what's great about it. I don't want to live, for example, I don't want to be, and I hope you'll agree with me, and if you don't, we'll screw you. But that's how political debate works on the show. But I don't want to live on a planet which is just white guys. First of all, I like women, so that's
I was going to say that won't work for me. Now, if you want that, you go to Key West.
No problem. I want different people, and the food would suck. Let's be honest; it was just white guys on the planet. I mean, that would be great.
Unless half are gay, and then the food's going to be okay.
Oh, that's even more. Well, that's fine. Oh yeah, that's a whole other reality show.
But then you need women, though. I guess someone's got to go the bung, the bung, the bung. You can't do that with
But I'm going to circle back and upend this entire conversation by saying this.
Yes.
As much as we're all learning about each other and realizing we're the same, we realize how different we are, and that's good. That is good. Everybody should be the issue is you should just be able to be who the hell you are, whether you're like men, women, with you, whatever color you are, whatever your melanin content is, you're all good. It's your actions that people should form an opinion of you, not what comes, because this you have no control over. You don't have any control over this, but you do have a certain amount of control over the way you act, what you think, how you form your opinions, and that's what people should. Well, you should be careful of judging because lest you be judged and all that stuff.
Well, I believe that book, sure.
Well, I know you're not a big fan of that, and I use it as an interesting reference. The jury's out for me. That's all I
use the book of I like the Book of the Dead. I use that one from the Egyptians. It's more fun.
And anybody wondering what we're talking about? It's religion. I look at that whole situation and go, for me, the best way to look at, I don't want to get into this topic, but the best way to look at that is, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. That to me is the best argument. And within the context of I don't know, then you can say, right, this is an encouraging belief, or that's bullshit, and away you go. But that's what and there you go. And if the guy wants to believe or not believe, great. Leave people alone. Leave the Jews alone in Montana. Do that. That's
what I say, and leave our space lasers alone, and let us run the banks, and let us continue running entertainment.
Are they bothering you? No. Well, then leave them alone. If they want to chop things up, not people, not dogs, not animal food, whatever food they like, let them eat it. It's fine.
That's right.
Let people be. But it does seem like we are as a race, and I include all colors, the entire human race,
Yep.
we do seem incapable of letting other people just live their lives. It's a curious thing. Why can't you? There was I don't know, it was a newscast or whether it was a movie, but there was a woman. She was a woman of color. I'm not using the African American label because she's not African. She's American. Right. That's just my thing. Elon Musk is African American, by the way.
Yeah. I love that. I love when we say that because we literally get comments. People go, "What do you mean that?" Well, he was born in Africa, which makes him an African,
he's an American citizen,
and now he's an American. So he is an African American.
Yes,
people, we've talked about this on, I think, one of your shows. We said the people that were born in America that are black, you are you are a black American, but you're not an African American because we can't go back. And this is what we said on
you're an American
from the German. How many ancestors do you keep going back to where you finally say, "I'm an American"? You know what I mean?
You're an earthling. You're an earthling who lives in America.
There you go. I like that one. Yeah, except Elon Musk.
Yeah,
he's an African American.
You're an earthling who's decided to live in America. And if you're born in America, well, then you're an American. I don't care what.
Yeah.
How many tentacles you have coming out of your ass? You still. That's what you are. Period.
How many do we think? How many tentacles do we think comes out of Elon's ass? No, never mind. I'll go ahead.
Now his retract.
It's something.
They don't come out anymore. Now that definitely used to be a problem. It got a bit awkward, and then he had his hair done. You remember he had his hair?
Yeah. That's right.
Maybe they took the tentacles from his ass and put him there.
Hey, doesn't he remind you of Goebbels?
Goebbels.
Goebbels. Goebbels back in the 30s. He hung out with the guy with the mustache.
I didn't have the pleasure.
We had dinner once, and I tried to strangle him. But yeah, he was a great guy. But doesn't he remind you, since he was the propaganda ministry for those people, Musk seems to be like Goebbels. I hear gerbil. He's like
Goebbels.
Doesn't he act like? Hey, it's all another show. Sorry, boys in the keys. It's another show. Anyway, but doesn't he remind you of Goebbels with his ex and he's interviewing Trump and doing all? It's like I'm seeing, like, there's Joseph Goebbels. I mean, that's what I look at.
Stephen, I sent you that thing a while ago, and people are welcome to look on it. Look for it. I don't know. We should put it out there or something. But there was a guy who wrote a letter or an appeal written as if he was Elon, saying, please like me. You got to like me.
I remember that.
I built this company. I mean, come on. Why don't people like me? You must like me. I'm cool, right? You want a flamethrower? I can give you. Would you like me to make you a flamethrower? And he goes on and on and on and on and on. Look, I don't want to bash the guy. I don't know him that well. And
yes,
he seems to have made. Yeah, I do. He doesn't. He seems to have done all right, as my mum would say. Oh, look at him. He's done all right. Yeah, he's done okay. Yeah. But I every time people bring him up, because obviously he's from this part of the world, he's a South African guy who's now a US citizen, and he's the richest man in the world, which is kind of strange. And he doesn't believe in property ownership. I just think he needs, and I say this seriously, he just needs a hug. I don't think he's had a proper hug.
From
I really think
From what? What does
I don't know, something with tentacles. Something with tentacles. I don't know. He just looks like a guy. I wish he was. His success is great, and I good luck to him. And I think he's done well, and I think he's smart, but I also think he's very dumb.
Yeah,
I just wish he wasn't that, because what happens is when these people leave here and go there and make all that money, then people there start to think we're all like him. We're not. We really. Well, first of all, we don't have his money. Okay, so that's a fact. This country's poor. That one there is rich. Right. So just be clear. That's why he went there, by the way. That's a fact. He didn't go there because, well, he was wanted to be a patriotic American. He could give two shits about that. Yeah. But there was money to be made, and he's very good at that. And he could see an opportunity and a way to do it. And that's fine. Absolutely fine. But when he jumps into the whole political thing, I go, oh, Elon, mate.
Yeah, nobody cares.
No one does. And they barely care when a president speaks. They really don't care what you think. But good luck to him. Yeah. I don't really care much. I just wish he would. I wish he was slightly more sane, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit.
Because his own hype.
Really good. Go, they're cool people. They make money. They believe in capital, free enterprise. Right. Yeah, good people. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, they don't all run around in gumboots and bang drums. No, we don't actually.
Did Elon run around in gumboots and bang drums? Can we get pictures of that? That'd be awesome. Oh,
I remember when I first went there. There was a guy in Connecticut. I'm not going to mention his name because I won't. But he used to be the mayor. No, research if you want to. That's fine. But I went to his house for dinner, and he was introducing me to people like I was a snow globe that he had bought in Africa.
Oh my God!
Oh, where's this guy? He's from Africa. He's white. Oh my God! You got to tell him all about South Africa. And I sat there going, "Am I the party favor for the evening?" It was crazy.
Wow. That's
and
awesome.
I had a guy said to me, you don't sound like you're from there. And I said, well, no, because there are about 100 different accents from this part of the world.
Right.
And I was also born in the UK. Oh, you're a Brit. Not really. No, I'm not. I'm really not. But okay, that helps you sleep at night. Good. But he felt the need to show me, he said, you got to see this thing on YouTube. And I went, oh my God, what are we, YouTube, we're YouTube sharing now. Okay. That's what people do. They go, oh, I got to show you this clip. So wheeled out the old computer, which was in the kitchen, which I thought was really weird. And he said, you got to watch this. Everybody come look here. Come look at this. And he felt the need to show me the clip so that everybody could see me watching the clip of Johannesburg, which is the city I live in, and how it's roads and lights and internet. And I went,
yeah, it's got indoor plumbing.
No idea. And there's shops and there's skyscrapers and McDonald's and it's crazy. And he went, isn't that crazy? And I went, no, okay, no, it's not. Boring. And he was just so fascinated by the fact that the country had oxygen, there was sunshine, roads, internet. And I just thought, this is why we need people like Musk to put out a more normal picture of what the people here are. Because as I said to many people when I came back and was observed when I lived there, there's not a hell of a lot of difference between myself and Americans except an accent. Same. There's not that difference that people imagine. Yes, the geography is a little different, and yes, the politics are actually no, they're exactly the same. They're just as screwed up. They are, because we're people. People screw shit up. That's what we do. I still haven't got to the point that the topic I actually wanted to bring up. Maybe
before you
tickle it? Can I tickle it?
Before you tickle it, really quick, we've invited Mr. Musk on this show and Lost Dollar Business Club and others. I mean, I'm sure he's never going to show up because, but if he would ever show up, I think on this show would be good because you being from South Africa, and I think that would be a very interesting dialogue. So if he wants to show up, Mr. Musk, come on. You're my neighbor. Your cyber truck plant's 6-7 kilometers away from me, and you live like 5 kilometers away from me. So you're like my neighbor. So, yeah, he literally, we're like, he could reach out and touch me, which I think he might have one day, and we'll discuss that later. But I'm seeing a therapist. But my point is that he could come on the show whenever he wants. He doesn't even have to leave his house. We'll just do it the way we do it now.
He doesn't have a house, remember? Doesn't believe in property ownership.
Where's he live? In a tent?
Well, I think I read. No, I did read this somewhere that he sold all his properties. He's not a fan of. For some reason, he's got $200+ billion, but he doesn't believe in property ownership. If somebody thinks I got that wrong, comment away. But I'm pretty sure that's what he believes. He doesn't believe in that. He doesn't want to be limited by that. I get that. That's fine. And donate the money to a charity. No, he won't do that. Hang on. Isn't his charity Trump? I don't know. I'm sorry.
I thought that was his charity. We have a charity, and he could donate that to the halfway house for girls that don't go all the way.
Now, look, he can do whatever the hell he wants with his money, and I'm sure he doesn't care what I think of where he puts his money.
Yeah.
But he apparently doesn't believe in property ownership, and he lives in something that folds up, like a fold-up thing. A fancy thing that folds up and he can take it wherever. I think that's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind actually talking to him about that. It's got, I wouldn't know. I don't know this for a fact because he is even on Instagram. I don't think he's on Instagram. He's on X.
Yeah, because it's Goebbels. Goebbels' new thing.
Goebbels and Goebbels.
Goebbels.
Didn't they put Goebbels up the
Yes, they
Don't they do
did.
that in prison?
And oh
They
yeah,
do,
there's a
don't
whole
they?
thing. Oh, that's what I hear. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know from experience. I've heard stories though, and we'll
good
have a
story.
video next week.
Well, what's that book? I've got it over there. Papillon. It's about that
Papillon. Yeah,
prisoner,
yeah.
the
The French
butterfly.
prisoner. Yeah, the one
Henri
with Steve McQueen and Dustin
Henri
Hoffman were in the
Charrière.
movie.
Henri
Yeah,
Charrière. And
yeah.
they used
Steve
to put
McQueen and Dustin Hoffman were the actors in
yes,
that movie.
yes. And in case you think I'm lying,
Oh, here he goes. He's pulling something out, ladies and gentlemen. Papillon. There you go. That was a good
I
book.
do read. There you go.
Yeah, it
Henri
had lots of
Charrière.
pictures.
But there was something about putting stuff up your
Yeah.
was
Your bum.
to store it.
Yeah, you keep
And I
it
know
safe.
people do. I know people put must. I mean, gerbils up there. I mean, Goebbels. I mean, that up there.
Yeah, something up there. Anyway, you want to tickle something. What do you want to tickle?
Yeah, because as this is all very inclusive, and I hate that word because I've always thought inclusive just meant being human.
Right,
It's
right.
not. It shouldn't have a label. It's all the other people that screw it up. You know, they divide and conquer and categorize and break us all up. Because the great thing, and I come back to this country, the great thing is I can go down to the restaurant. This is in all seriousness is true.
Okay.
I've traveled Europe. I've traveled across many parts of the States. And what I've found, certainly in America, is if you go from one state to another, it's like you're dealing with a different human being. The people are different. The food's different. The attitudes are different. The politics are different. Everything is different, which is great. That should be a good thing. Okay. So that's what's great. And I've generally found my travels across the States, people are very friendly. But, and this was pointed out to me by the chap who showed me the YouTube clip. He said, you've got to understand you're like a snow globe to them. You're oh wow. You're I love this. Oh, your accent. Oh, whatever. Oh. Okay. I don't necessarily think that's true because I lived in New York for 3 years, and after a while I went, oh yeah, it's him. So I think we got past that, and the people were still pretty friendly to a point.
Right.
To a point, which is fine. That's okay. They weren't unfriendly, so that's fine. Europe I find a little colder. I do like France. I do like France because I can obviously speak a bit of the lingo, but I will say in terms of the French people, if you just say bonjour, they will do anything for you. If you don't say that, they will do nothing for you.
That is true.
If you just, and you don't have to be fluent. They are actually very friendly, proud people. And if you go to Paris, just say bonjour. Now that doesn't mean they have to fall down and serve you and be your slave. But you know what?
For the right money.
Time, that's what they've done for me. They've been very friendly to me. I've never had a problem in France ever, but I have made the effort. You should try that. And please stay away from all the franchise places. Go to something different. That's just my little travel tip. But here, I can go to a restaurant 5 kilometers down the road.
Okay.
3 miles. Is that
3.6 miles? Sure.
Down the road, and I can meet. And I'm gonna make this very clear. I'm gonna meet a man of color, and we're gonna talk. I'm gonna meet a man of color. And you know what? That man, I've never met him before, and I experience this often. I will go back tomorrow. He'll remember my name. In a week, I could be locked in a prison cell, and I could call him, and he'd come bail me out. It is so easy to make proper connections with people here, and I've had it time and time again. I can go into a village 200 Ks that way where they don't speak a word of English, and they are, by Western standards, uneducated. The guy, if you come in with the right attitude, this is the important thing. I can go there, and in 30 minutes, I can literally be sitting down on the floor having a meal with him. That is how easy I have found to make connections here. And that is what is magical about this place. The politics are another story, but the ordinary people are amazing. They are almost over friendly, almost childishly friendly. That's what you'll. But by the same token, as childishly friendly as they are, if you insult them, they get very angry very quickly. If you demonstrate a lack of understanding or from whatever, whether it be sport, color, politics, wow, it gets heated very quickly. It's almost childlike, but so be it. It's very easy to make connections, and that's what I love about the place. So that isn't even what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to just tickle for next time, because we almost run out.
You got 11 minutes. Pickle whatever you want.
Next time is
Yeah.
all this inclusivity and kumbaya and we love each other, which isn't true. We don't have to love each other. Why? Why would we? Why would you do
like
that?
each other?
No, that's bullshit. Just be honest, okay? I hate you, you piece of crap, but we have the same access to birth control. Oh, boom. Okay, no, I'm not going to throw that stone. But here's the thing.
Yes.
As we've expanded our efforts to include people, and I hate that word, just be normal.
Yeah.
I want to ask the question, what happens, and this isn't really for me, I'm stepping outside of my wheelhouse a bit here. This is why I thought the topic might ripple a bit, especially in the US, I think. There's, or any country where there's a strong right-wing movement that's burgeoning, and you have to ask yourself why. And I think I know why.
Okay.
I think I know why. Because you have these groups, and particularly your favorite guy, Trump. You talk about him. Yeah, I know you love the guy. Don't even deny it. I know you love him. But the reason why, I've always said, oh, here we go. The reason why no one asks why is he so popular. No one really wants to know why he's popular. No one really knows. No one really wants to ask, what is it about him that people find appealing? And it's him. It's the Hungarian guy. It's the Marie Le Pen in France. It's all these guys. If are people just dumb? No, they're not dumb. No, no. I don't know. Maybe they are. This is what I think. I think if there's this perceived idea that there's a small group that have got something and we need to expand the area of opportunity, right? So people want to be part of that. I think that group in the middle somehow is feeling like their turf is being eroded. There was a commentator that I once heard, he put it very well. He said, it's not that we want to take away your piece of pie. We just want our piece of pie. And when our piece of pie gets bigger, it doesn't mean your piece of the pie gets smaller. But that's maybe what people are feeling. So let's call it what it is. Let's talk about, because I can say it because I'm one of them, the straight white people in the US, for instance, that think that all the brown people are coming, all the gay people are coming, all the atheists are coming, all of these people are coming. And I'm asking the question, I'm not saying this is true. Do they not perhaps feel like it's overwhelming? In other words, they're getting their area, who they are, is a problem, that they are not. In other words, you're championing the rights of all these other areas. What about them? What if you are a straight white person who believes in God and you slap bang in the middle of America? What happens to you? Who is talking to you? And that's why. That's
the orange.
What
that's
I'm
why they
saying,
like the orange man.
You can't ignore. You must acknowledge, but you gotta acknowledge everybody to the same extent all the time. That's what I'm concerned about. We were talking about the riots came up in that other show last week in the UK. There's the Trump thing. There's the European right-wing movement coming up, and you have to say, why? What is feeding that? Now, without jumping up onto a podium and saying, you bad right-wing people. No, I'm suggesting that is the incorrect approach. The correct approach would be open your damn ears and to listen to them. You don't have to agree with anybody. Not about agreeing. But if the moment you start ignoring people, the moment you start shutting people down, finally I get to my point after 40 minutes. If we keep it's like we're shutting people down, or it's perceived to be the case that these people are being shut up. What I'm saying, Steve, is there are people in the US who are straight, white, and believe in God. Whether you like it or not, they are there. What happens to them? Yeah. What about them? What about them? What about them? What about their belief? What about their communities? That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with what you're saying. The problem with it is that when a group feels they're being left out, and we go back to Nazi Germany, because that was a big group. They believe it is back then, not now. Like the Germans are us right now, right? Yeah, but but they listened to the guy with the mustache. He got the whole country, let's just say 80% of them, riled up. And then they had to find a scapegoat. So when you say what happens to them, now we have to look for whose fault is it? So
Mm.
the orange guy, if you will, is saying, well, it's all the illegal aliens coming over. It's their fault.
Yeah.
So you have to have an enemy, if you will, to make whoever, white, black, green, purple, whatever, feel like even black voters like Trump for whatever reason, right? So because why? Because he's not picking on them. He's picking on another group, which
Somebody
are
else.
the illegals, right? So I think if you want to be popular, if I want to become the dictator of the world, which
Sorry, can I just say
hard.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we are stupid. Carry on. Yeah, people are stupid.
Thank you. But if I want to be dictator of the world, all I have to do is find a common enemy globally. So in America, I would say, and really, I guess everybody complains about this in all their countries. It's the illegal immigrants. If I go, we're going to get rid of illegal immigrants, we're going to build these walls, we're going to do whatever it is. People go, oh, this guy, oh, he's a genius. No, I just know how to get you riled up to get what I want, which is, if you will, votes that get me into an office. Now you have to have other policies. So in America, what do we talk about? Oh, the Chinese are the worst. No, not really. They just smarter, right? They figured out how to build things better and cheaper, yada, yada, yada. But what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to stop tariffs. We're going to do this. And we're going to do so to what the orange man's doing to get everybody riled up is you're just picking on things that, if you will, middle America really doesn't know anything about, or they know enough about it to be dangerous, but they don't read past like the first paragraph of the news story. So now they can go ahead and I can pick on them. Where now you have Miss Harris coming out and she's like, no, we'll take care of this, but we have these other problems. There are people like, oh yeah, we do have these other problems. So it becomes that kind of situation, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what
I think without leaning to that lovely, delightful topic that we could go down there, the Nazi topic, the Napoleon topic, the dictator topic. I think just sort of looking upwards and trying to be positive. I guess I would just say what I'd hope for, which probably won't happen, because I'm asking people to actually be intelligent, is yes, expand the playground, but you can't forget who was on the playground first. I know it works very well just to sweep them off the playground and say, you naughty people, and then put new people on the playground. Because whether that's even true or not is not the point. When you've got a big chunk, and let's be honest, America is largely a straight, white, God-fearing nation. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, demographically it is. And you can't just go, yeah, well, you created all this mess and point fingers. You got to be careful of that. You got to be careful of the finger pointing as much as you want to, and as easy it is to do that. You can't. If you want something to improve, you've got to say, keep your pie. Yeah, we want pie as well. It's as simple as that. When you threaten other people's pies, well, they're not happy. I mean, everybody likes pie, don't they? Do you like pie, Stephen? I like pie.
Oh, so
pie is great. And I'm saying in very simple terms, that just seems to be my take on it. It's the thing that links everything. Hell, it even brings in the Ukraine situation. Because everybody's so threatened about things, and I'm not going to get on and the Middle East thing. It's all about people threatening positions, and you sit there and you go, right, so I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just looking from the sidelines, and I go, what? Geez, can you people just not recognize each other's humanity? You're both human. You're both Earthlings.
No, they can't.
You would be fighting Martian. So what are you fighting about? You're going to die one day regardless. In 100 years, all new people. What movie was that? It doesn't. I remember here, all new people.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What are you fighting about? For the love of God.
People are stupid.
Give Elon Musk a hug and let's have a glass of wine and look at the Riviera. Right?
And you're right. But here's your point to what you said about, we come over and we take, like, let's use our country. If you remember, when people came over here, there were these Indians here. And they didn't call them indigenous. I don't care. We call them whatever. They were human beings here. And they pretty much owned everything. And we came and we decided, well, you're not white. And now we're going to take it over. And screw you. Now, when the Chinese came, like in 1000 CE, they didn't do that. They just built little towers. They did whatever. They got along. But when the white people came, we did whatever. So I think people look at life as a land acquisition game. It's like, I need the most toys, so when I die, I have the most toys. And at the end of the day, and I say this, you can only wear one watch at a time. You can only drive one car at a time. You can only fly in one plane at a time. You can only live at one house at a time. So it's great that you have all these toys. But what are you trying to do? But in 1,000 years, no one's going to remember your name.
No. There's two things. One, as George Carlin said, what we do is I'm paraphrasing, obviously. We buy stuff to put our stuff that we bought in. And then we buy more stuff. So the stuff we bought, we put in the other stuff, then we put in that stuff. And so we got, and then we just got more stuff that holds stuff and just go, blah, blah, blah. It's that 3-minute, you should go look it up. George Carlin.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's great. I got the album.
And to call him a comedian is a joke. He's much more than a comedian. And the other thing I'm sort of end off with, you remember when they went to Mahatma Gandhi, they said to him, what do you think? Because you mentioned white people and Chinese people and how white people have done this bang up job of colonizing and then taking and whatever. By the way, that's not me. I didn't do it. My forefathers did it. So don't hold that against me. Okay, maybe a little bit. But they said to him, what do you think of Western civilization? And he goes, I think that would be a very good idea.
I agree with him 100%. With that, we're going to leave the show. Everybody, thank you for watching. You can catch us here every Sunday morning. Next week, we actually do this live. So it'll be live on Thursday morning. You don't know. We'll have a discussion. It'll be live 8 a.m. on every Thursday. It'll be pre-record. It'll be the replay or rescheduling will be on Sundays where you can catch it at your leisure. You can catch us on a podcast anywhere you get your podcast. Look for Two Old Farts Making Noises and Vaguely True or Vaguely News, depending on what we want to put it under. And subscribe and like. Tell us what you want to talk about. And Elon, if you're listening, come on the show. We're all wants to get
Before you go, say Z. Say Z.
Z.
I love it. Good. Yeah.
A to Z, baby. Daddy knows.
A to Z. Z.
I didn't fall out of a tree. And remember, support the halfway houses for girls that don't go all the way. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Thank you so much for listening to this Rolled Woods Robb Vega, whatever the hell he wants to call himself, fellow. You know, this podcast thing, it makes him feel very important, and he's a difficult fellow as it is to deal with. So thank you so much for putting up with him, and do take care.